Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, and welcome back to this next video. And this is the second video in the chapter 2 of Immunology. In the first video, I've told you about the cells of the blood, and I've told you that there is a common progenitor or a common stem cells, which is known as the hematopoietic stem cell. And this hematopoietic stem cell gave rise to two major cell lines. One is known as the common myeloid-erythroid progenitor, and the second one that is known as the common lymphoid progenitor. In the last video, I've told you about the cells. They are going to be produced from these CMP, and we talked about the that one of the important cells that are produced from the CMP. They are the erythroblasts, which are of course the immature erythrocytes containing a nucleus, and then they get converted into the mature erythrocytes, which are non-nucleated. The second important type of cells that are produced from the CMP, they are the megakaryocytes, and they are actually the producers of the blood platelets, which are very important in the process of the clotting. Then I've told you that the third type of the cell that is produced from the CMP, they are the myeloblast, which gave rise to the band neutrophils, the band eosinophils, and the band basophils and the band eosinophils, which are then get converted into the mature neutrophils, basophils, and the eosinophils. The fourth type of the cell that is produced from the CMP, that was the promonocytes, which are actually the immature monocytes, which get converted into the mature monocytes. And these mature monocytes, they are actually like the macrophages or the dendritic cells. The last type of the cell that are produced from the CMP, that was the mast cell precursors, which gave rise to the mast cells, which are very important in the allergic reaction. Now, in this particular video, I want to focus on the common lymphoid progenitor, that what these common lymphoid progenitors are and which type of the cells they are produced from these common lymphoid progenitor. For short, of course, we can call it as the CLP. So the first type of the cells that is produced by this CLP, they are the naive B cells. Of course, you can call them as the immature B cells. If you remember in the last video, I also told you about the tolerance, and I've told you that all of the cells, once they are produced, they are going to get through those tests to make them sure that they only target the foreign cells, the foreign organisms, and they do not target the self cells. So the naive B cells, of course, they are going to go through those particular tests. And these naive B cells, of course, then are going to give rise to the mature B cells, which are capable of producing specific antibodies. So you're talking about these antibody production, but of course, when they pass through the tolerance, they are specific antibodies which only target the foreign organisms. The second type of the cells that is produced by the CLP, they are the pre-T cells. And you all know that these pre-T cells, they have to move towards the thymus. We have already have a discussion on that. Then when they move into the thymus, these pre-T cells, they can give rise to like different type of these cells, like the cytotoxic T cells, the helper T cells, and the regulatory T cells, which are the different type of the T cells. And we will have detailed discussion during the this series of videos or during this particular course on the different type of the T cells and their important or specific functions. The third type of the cells that is produced by the common lymphoid progenitor, they are the natural killer cells. And these natural killer cells, they are a very important component of the innate immunity, and they are going to control the several types of the tumors and the microbial infections. Do not get confused the natural killer cells with the cytotoxic T cells. Of course, both of them, they have the ability to kill the foreign organisms, but these cytotoxic T cells, most of the time they are for the viruses and they are part of the adaptive immune system. These natural killer cells, they are very important like in certain microbial infections and the spread of the control of the spread of the tumors, and they are part of the innate immunity. So that would be like a little bit of difference between the natural killer cells and the cytotoxic T cells. The last type of the cells that is produced by the CLP, they are the immature dendritic cells. Now these dendritic cells, when they move into the tissues, they get converted into the mature dendritic cells, and these dendritic cells, they are very important antigen presenting cells, which is actually making a connection between the innate and the adaptive immunity. I already told you about the differences between the innate and the adaptive immunity in the chapter 1. So if you are interested in learning between the differences of the innate and the adaptive immunity, you can switch to that particular video. Now these are the images of the antibodies. So if you talk about the antibodies, of course we will have a detailed discussion on the antibodies, but just to give you an idea how these antibodies look like, you have got important regions. One, this is known as the antigen binding sites, and these are the parts of the antibody which is responsible for interaction with the antigens. You have got these light chains, you have got these heavy chains, got these hinge regions, these disulfide bridges. They are very important in the structure of the antibodies, and we will have detailed discussion on that. You have got these variable portions, and you have got these constant portion in the structure of the antibody. This is a T cell. I just told you about the antigen presenting cells. So this could be dendritic cells. So on the surface of the T cell, you have got these T cell receptors, and these T cell receptors, they are very important for interaction with these antigen presenting cells in neutralizing a foreign organism. So if you like the video, please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, do comment, or if you have any question, do let me know. I will clarify the question, and do share it with your friends. I'll see you in the next video.